The Princess and the Flute Player, the Kingdom Without a King. In the heart of Bayelsa state, deep in the creeks and mangrove forests, there was a kingdom called Oporoma. This kingdom had been without a king for many years. The throne was empty. The crown sat alone in the palace, waiting for someone worthy to wear it. 4 elders ruled the kingdom. They were called the 4 pillars of Oporoma. Every morning they gathered under the great Iroko tree in the center of the village. This tree was over 300 years old. The people believed that the spirits of their ancestors lived in the tree. Elder Tonbra was the oldest. He had a long white beard that touched his chest. He always spoke slowly and carefully. "How long will we wait for a new king?" Elder Ekior asked. He was a fat man who loved ceremonies and festivals. "We will wait as long as it takes," Elder Tonbra replied. "The spirits will tell us when the time is right." "But we have been waiting for 7 years now," Elder Prey said. "The young people are getting tired. They want a king. They want celebrations and festivals." Elder Tonbra shook his head. "Peace is more important than celebrations. Since our last king died, this kingdom has known peace. No wars, no fights, no problems. Is that not more important than festivals?" Elder Ekia was about to argue when Elder Oyinkuro, the youngest of the 4, spoke up. "The spirits have chosen Princess Terilla to be our next ruler. She is beautiful, she is kind. The people love her. Why can't she just become queen?" "Because," Elder Tonbra said, "the law says that a woman cannot rule alone. She must have a husband. Her husband will be king. She will be queen. Together they will rule." "Then let us find a husband for her," Elder Prey said. "It is not that simple," Elder Tonbra replied. "Princess Terilla is not an ordinary girl. She is a gift from the water goddess, Mamiwata. Do you remember the story?" All the elders nodded. Everyone in Oporoma knew the story. 17 years ago, the late king and his wife had no children. They tried everything. They visited all the native doctors in Bayelsa. They went to churches. They went to mosques. Nothing worked. Then one day the king's wife said she wanted to visit the shrine of Mamiwata at Brass Island. The king agreed. They traveled by boat for many hours. When they reached the shrine, the king's wife prayed and cried, "Great Mamiwata, mother of the waters, gave me a child. I will give you anything you want. Just give me one child." That night, Mamiwata appeared to the king's wife in a dream. "I will give you a daughter," Mamiwata said, "but there is a condition. When she reaches the age of 17, she must return to me. If she does not return, she will die and come back to me anyway." The king's wife woke up and told her husband about the dream. They were both afraid, but they wanted a child so badly. They agreed to the condition. 9 months later, Princess Terilla was born. She was the most beautiful baby anyone had ever seen. Her skin was smooth like silk. Her eyes were bright like stars. Everyone loved her. But now, 17 years have passed. Princess Terilla was now a young woman, and Mamiwata wanted her daughter back. "The spirits have given us a solution," Elder Tonbra said. "If we want Princess Tarila to stay with us, we must give Mamiwata something in exchange." "What does she want?" Elder Ekior asked. "She wants the head of Kalabari Beast, the monster that lives in the deep waters near Nembe. That beast has been terrorizing Mamiwata's kingdom for many years. If we kill the beast and bring its head to her, she will let Princess Terilla stay with us." The elders were silent. Everyone in Bayelsa knew about Kalabari Beast. It was a giant creature that lived in the deepest part of the ocean. It had the body of a crocodile, the head of a lion, and the tail of a snake. Many warriors had tried to kill it. None had succeeded. Most of them never came back. "That is impossible," Elder Prey said. "No one can kill the Kalabari Beast." "Then Princess Tarila will die," Elder Tonbra said. "And when she dies, Mamiwata will send demons to attack our kingdom. We will all become slaves." "What should we do?" Elder Oyinkuro asked. "We must send our strongest men to kill the beast. And whoever succeeds will marry Princess Terilla and become our king." News spread throughout Oporoma. The elders announced that any man who could bring back the head of Kalabari Beast would marry Princess Terilla and become king. 3 men volunteered for the mission. The first was Owekuro, the son of a rich chief. Owekuro was tall and muscular. He had trained as a warrior since he was a boy. He carried a big machete and wore animal skins. He was proud and loud. "I am the strongest man in Oporoma," he shouted. "I will kill Kalabari Beast with my bare hands. I will be your next king." The second man was Ibikefe. He was the son of Elder Oyinkuro. Ibikefe was not as strong as Oekuro, but he was clever. He knew how to use traps and weapons. He was cunning and ambitious. "My father is one of the four pillars," Ibikefe said. "It is my destiny to be king. I will use my intelligence to defeat the beast." The third man was Timipre. He was not strong like Oekuro. He was not clever like Ibikefe. He was just an ordinary fisherman's son. But Timipre had something special. He could play the flute better than anyone in Bayelsa state. When people heard that Timipre had volunteered, they laughed at him. You? You want to be king?" Oekuro mocked him. "You are weak. You cannot even lift a machete. How will you kill the Kalabari Beast?" "With music," Timipre said quietly. "With music?" Oekuro laughed louder. "You think you can kill a monster with a flute? You are a fool." Ibikefe also laughed. "This mission is for real men, not for flute players. Go back to your fishing boat." But Timipre did not go back. He stood firm. Elder Tonbra looked at the three men. He saw Oekuro's muscles. He saw Ibikefe's weapons. He saw Timipre's flute. He smiled. "This mission is not about strength," Elder Tonbra said. "It is about wisdom. The spirits will choose who is worthy." The elders decided that the three men would go together on the mission. They would help each other, but at the end only one man would bring back the head of Kalabari Beast. That man would be king. Part 3. Princess Tarila's Blessing. Before the men left, Princess Tarila wanted to see them. She wanted to pray for them and give them her blessing. Princess Tarila was the most beautiful girl in all of Bayelsa. Her skin was dark and smooth, her hair was long and black. Her eyes were kind and gentle. Every man in Oporoma wanted to marry her. But Princess Tarila had a secret. She was in love with Timipre. She had met him 1 year ago at the riverside. She was fetching water when she heard music. It was the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. She followed the sound and found Timipre sitting under a palm tree, playing his flute. She hid behind a tree and listened. The music made her cry. It was so beautiful. It spoke to her soul. Since that day, she would go to the riverside every evening just to hear him play. Sometimes they would talk, sometimes they would just sit together in silence. But they kept their love secret. Princess Terilla knew that she could not marry an ordinary fisherman. She was a princess. She had to marry someone important. Now, as she stood before the three men, her heart was breaking. One of these men would be her husband. But the only one she loved was Timipre. "May the gods protect you," she said to Oekuro. "Your strength will be tested. Use it wisely." Oekuro smiled proudly. He thought she was impressed by his muscles. "May the gods guide you," she said to Ibikefe. "Your intelligence will be tested. Use it for good." Ibikefe bowed. He thought she was impressed by his cleverness. Then she turned to Timipre. Their eyes met. For a moment, time stopped. She wanted to tell him that she loved him. She wanted to tell him to come back safely. But she could not say it out loud. "May the gods be with you," she said softly. "Your music creates paths where there are none. Open your heart with good deeds, and goodness will never leave you." Timipre understood. He knew what she was trying to say. He nodded. The elders gave each man a maiden to help them on the journey. Timipre's maiden was Ebiere, a young girl from his village. Ebiere had been in love with Timipre for many years, but Timipre only saw her as a friend. As they prepared to leave, Ebiere whispered to her friend, "If he comes back alive, I will marry him." Her friend shook her head sadly. "But the law says that whoever brings back the head of Kalabari Beast will marry Princess Tarila. If Timipre succeeds, you will lose him." Ebiere's eyes filled with tears. "Then I will pray that he fails so that he can come back and be with me." But deep in her heart, she knew she could not pray for him to fail. She loved him too much. The three men and their maidens set out on their journey. They traveled by canoe through the creeks and waterways of Bayelsa. The journey to Nembe, where Kalabari Beast lived, would take many days. On the first day, everything went well. They paddled through calm waters, the sun was shining, birds were singing. But on the second day, things started to go wrong. They reached a part of the creek that was full of crocodiles. The water was dark and dangerous. The crocodiles were waiting, their eyes just above the water. Oekuro wanted to fight the crocodiles. "I will kill them all," he shouted. He raised his machete. "No," Timipre said. "That is foolish. There are too many. We will all die." "Then what do you suggest, flute player?" Ebikefe asked sarcastically. "Let me try something," Timipre said. He took out his flute and started to play. The music was soft and gentle. It sounded like water flowing. It sounded like wind blowing through palm trees. Something amazing happened. The crocodiles stopped moving. They listened to the music. Slowly they swam away, leaving a clear path for the canoes. Everyone was surprised. Even Oekuro and Ebikefe had to admit that it was impressive. "You see," Timipre said, "we don't always need to fight. Sometimes wisdom is better than strength." But Oekuro and Ebikefe were not happy. They were jealous. Timipre was making them look foolish. "You are just showing off," Oekuro said. "You want to impress Princess Tarila so that you can be king." "No," Timipre said. "I just want all of us to survive this journey. I don't care about being king." "Liar," Ebikefe shouted. "Everyone wants to be king. You are no different." "I have a girl I love," Timipre said. "Her name is Ebiere. When this mission is over, I will marry her. I don't want Princess Tarila." Oekuro and Ebikefe looked at each other. They did not believe him. That night, while everyone was sleeping, Oekuro and Ebikefe met in secret. "We need to get rid of Timipre," Oekuro whispered. "Why?" Ebikefe asked. "Because he is too smart. He is solving all the problems. If he continues like this, he will be the hero. He will get the head of Kalabari Beast. He will marry Princess Terilla and become king." "But he said he doesn't want to be king." "Do you believe him?" "I don't. He is just pretending. We must kill him." Ebikefe thought about it. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Let us wait. Let us see what happens. If he becomes a problem, then we will deal with him." On the 5th day of the journey, they reached a dense forest. The path was blocked by thick bushes and thorny plants. They could not go through. Oekuro tried to cut through the bushes with his machete, but the thorns were too thick. Every time he cut one branch, 3 more grew back. "This is cursed," Oekuro shouted. He was sweating and tired. "Let me try," Ebikefe said. He tried to use fire to burn the bushes, but the plants would not burn. They were wet from the morning dew. "What do we do now?" one of the maidens asked. Everyone looked at Timipre. Timipre studied the situation. He noticed something. There were birds flying above the forest. The birds were showing them something. They were flying in a pattern, pointing to the left. "Follow the birds," Timipre said. "What?" Oekuro laughed. "You want us to follow birds? Are you mad?" "The elders told us to look for signs," Timipre said. "The spirits send us messages through nature. The birds are showing us another path." "I am not following any birds," Oekuro said stubbornly. "Neither am I," Ebikefe agreed. "Fine," Timipre said. "I will follow the birds. You can stay here and fight with the bushes." Timipre and his maiden, Ebiere, went to the left, following the birds. The other maidens wanted to follow Timipre, but Oekuro and Ebikefe stopped them. "Stay with us," they commanded. 2 hours later, Oekuro and Ebikefe were still stuck in the same place. They were tired, hungry, and angry. Finally, they had no choice but to follow Timipre's path. When they caught up with Timipre, they found him resting under a tree. He had already passed through the forest. There was a clear path on the left side, just as the birds had shown. Oekuro and Ebikefe were embarrassed, but instead of thanking Timipre, they became even more jealous. That night, Ebikefe came to Oekuro again. "We must kill him tonight," Ebikefe said. "If we don't, he will be the hero of this mission." "How will we kill him?" Oekuro asked. "We will wait until he is asleep. Then we will stab him and throw his body in the river. We will tell everyone that he was killed by wild animals." Oekuro agreed. They waited until midnight. Everyone was asleep. They took their machetes and went to where Timipre was sleeping. But Timipre was not there. "Where is he?" Oekuro whispered. I don't know, Ebikefe replied. They heard music. Timipre was sitting by the river, playing his flute. Ebiere was sitting next to him. We cannot kill him now, Owekuro said. The girl is with him. She will scream and wake everyone up. Then we will wait for another opportunity, Ebikefe said. The next morning, Owekuro and Ebikefe told Timipre that they wanted to take a different route. Why? Timipre asked. Because we don't want to follow you anymore. Owekuro said, You think you are so smart. You think you know everything. We will find our own way to Kalabari Beast. But the elders said we should stay together, Timipre reminded them. We don't care what the elders said, Ebikefe replied. From now on, we will go our separate ways. May the best man win. Timipre tried to convince them to stay together, but they refused. They took their maidens and went in a different direction. After they left, Ebiere said to Timipre, I think they want to kill you. I know, Timipre said. Then why did you let them go? They will try to kill you when you least expect it. If that is my fate, then so be it. I cannot force them to stay with me. All I can do is continue my mission and trust in the gods. Ebiere looked at him with admiration. You are a good man, Timipre. Princess Tarila is lucky to have you. Timipre shook his head. I am not doing this for Princess Tarila. I am doing this for my people. I want Oporoma to continue to exist in peace. That is all. But if you succeed, you will marry her and become king. Then I will marry her, but my heart will always belong to you, Ebiere. Ebiere's eyes filled with tears. Don't say that. Don't give me hope. If you become king, you will forget about me. Never, Timipre said. He held her hand. I will never forget you. Meanwhile, Owekuro and Ebikefe were traveling through the forest. They were lost. They had no idea where they were going. They ignored all the signs that the spirits were sending them. On the third day after the separation, they walked into a nest of poisonous snakes. Before they could react, the snakes bit them. Both men fell to the ground, screaming in pain. Their maidens tried to help them, but they did not know what to do. The poison was spreading quickly. Owekuro and Ebikefe were dying. One of the maidens ran to find Timipre. She found him 2 hours away, still following the path the birds were showing him. Please help us, she cried. Your brothers are dying. They were bitten by snakes. Timipre did not hesitate. He ran back with her. When he found Owekuro and Ebikefe, they were unconscious. Their bodies were swollen. Their faces were turning black. Timipre knew what to do. He had learned about snake bites from his father, who was a fisherman. He quickly cut open the wounds and sucked out the poison. Then he crushed some herbs and applied them to the wounds. Ebiere and the other maidens helped him. They worked all night to save the 2 men. By morning, Owekuro and Ebikefe were still alive. The poison was leaving their bodies. They would survive. When they woke up and saw Timipre, they were ashamed. You saved us, Owekuro said quietly. Yes, Timipre replied, but we wanted to kill you, Ebikefe admitted. I know. Why did you save us? Why didn't you leave us to die? Because you are my brothers, Timipre said. We started this mission together. We will finish it together. Owekuro and Ebikefe looked at each other. For the first time, they realized what kind of man Timipre was. He was not like them. He was better than them. But even this did not change their hearts completely. They were still jealous. They still wanted to be king. Back in Oporoma, Princess Terilla was dying. She had been sick for 3 days. She could not eat. She could not sleep. She was getting weaker every day. Elder Tombra called for the native doctor, but the native doctor could not help. This is not an ordinary sickness, the native doctor said. This is spiritual. Mamiwata is calling her daughter home. But the men are on their mission. Elder Prey said, they are going to bring back the head of Kalabari Beast. Can't Mamiwata wait? She has waited 17 years, the native doctor replied. She will not wait anymore. If the men do not return with the head of the beast in 2 days, Princess Tarila will die. The elders were afraid. They gathered under the great Iroko tree and prayed to the spirits. Please help us, Elder Tombra prayed. Guide our men. Help them succeed. Don't let our princess die. That night, Mamiwata appeared to Elder Tombra in a dream. Your men are divided, Mamiwata said. 2 of them are filled with jealousy and greed. Only one of them has a pure heart. Only one of them can defeat the Kalabari Beast. Who is he? Elder Tonbra asked. The one who plays the flute, the one who values wisdom over strength, the one who loves his people more than power. Elder Tonbra woke up. He knew that Mamiwata was talking about Timipre. After many days of traveling, Timipre, Owekuro, and Ebikefe finally reached Nembe. They found the cave where the Kalabari Beast lived. The cave was at the edge of the ocean, hidden behind giant rocks. The entrance was dark and smelled like death. Bones of dead animals and humans were scattered around the entrance. "This is it," Timipre said. "This is where Kalabari Beast lives." Owekuro gripped his machete. "I will go in first. I will kill the beast with my own hands." "No," Timipre said. "That is foolish. We don't know how big the beast is. We don't know what it can do. We need a plan." "I don't need a plan," Owekuro shouted. "I just need my strength." Before anyone could stop him, Owekuro ran into the cave. They heard his footsteps echoing. Then they heard a loud roar. Then they heard Owekuro screaming. Owekuro came running out of the cave. His clothes were torn. His face was bleeding. He was terrified. "It's huge," he screamed. "It's as big as a house. We cannot kill it." "Let me try," Ebikefe said. He had brought a trap with him. He set the trap at the entrance of the cave. Then he threw a stone into the cave to make noise. They heard the beast moving. It was coming towards the entrance. The ground was shaking from its footsteps. Suddenly, Kalabari Beast appeared. It was the most terrifying thing they had ever seen. It had the body of a giant crocodile, the head of a lion, and a snake's tail. Its eyes were red like fire. Its teeth were as long as machetes. The beast stepped into the trap, but the trap was too small. The beast broke through it like it was nothing. It roared and charged at them. Everyone ran. They ran as fast as they could. The beast chased them. Ebikefe was slow. The beast was getting closer to him. He was going to die. But Timipre did something brave. He stopped running. He turned around and faced the beast. He took out his flute and started to play. The music was different this time. It was not soft and gentle. It was loud and powerful. It sounded like thunder. It sounded like waves crashing on rocks. The beast stopped. I listened to the music. It seemed confusing. Timipre kept playing. He walked slowly towards the beast. His heart was beating fast. He was scared, but he did not show it. The beast tilted its head. It was listening carefully. The music was doing something to it. The beast was becoming calm. Timipre played for 1 hour, then 2 hours. The beast lay down on the ground. Its eyes were closing. The music was putting it to sleep. When the beast was finally asleep, Timipre stopped playing. He took out his knife. His hand was shaking. "This is for my people," he whispered. "This is for Princess Tarila. This is for Oporoma." He raised the knife and struck the beast's neck. Once, twice, 3 times. The beast did not wake up. The beast was in a deep sleep. Finally, the head was separated from the body. Timipre had done it. He had killed the Kalabari Beast. Owekuro and Ebikefe came out from their hiding places. They saw the head of the beast on the ground. They saw Timipre standing over it, covered in blood. They knew what this meant. Timipre was the hero. Timipre would marry Princess Tarila. Timipre would be king. "Congratulations," Ebikefe said quietly. "Thank you," Timipre replied. But Owekuro was not happy. He was very angry. He had failed. His dreams of being king were destroyed. That night, while Timipre was sleeping, Owekuro and Ebikefe met again. "We cannot let him take the head back to Oporoma," Owekuro whispered. "What can we do?" Ebikefe asked. "He killed the beast. The law is clear. He is the hero. Then we will kill him and take the head for ourselves. But the maidens will tell everyone what happened. Then we will kill them too." Ebikefe was shocked. "Kill innocent girls? That is too much." "Do you want to be a nobody for the rest of your life?" Owekuro asked. "This is our only chance. We kill them all, bury their bodies here, and go back to Oporoma with the head. We will tell everyone that they died in the battle. No one will know the truth." Ebikefe thought about it. His desire for power was stronger than his conscience. "When will we do it?" he asked. "Tomorrow. When we start the journey back home, we will find a good spot. We will ambush them and kill them all." They shook hands on their evil plan, but they did not know that one of the maidens had overheard their conversation. Her name was Timipre. She was Ebikefe's maiden. She was shocked by what she heard. She knew she had to warn Timipre. The next morning, as they were preparing to leave, Timipre found a moment to talk to Timipre alone. "Sir, I need to tell you something important," she whispered. "What is it?" Timipre asked. "Owekuro and Ebikefe are planning to kill you. They want to take the head of the beast and claim the glory for themselves. They also plan to kill all of us maidens, so we cannot tell the truth." Timipre was not surprised. He had suspected something like this. "Thank you for telling me," he said. "Don't worry, I will protect all of you." "What will you do?" "I will think of something. Just stay close to me and Ebiere. Don't let them separate you from us." That day, they started their journey back home. Owekuro and Ebikefe were waiting for the right moment to attack. They reached a narrow path between two big rocks. This was the perfect place for an ambush. "Now!" Owekuro shouted. He and Ebikefe attacked Timipre with their machetes. But Timipre was ready. He had been expecting it. He moved quickly and avoided the first strike. "What are you doing?" Timipre shouted. "We are taking what should be ours." Owekuro replied. They fought. Timipre was not a trained warrior like Owekuro, but he was quick and smart. He used his flute to block the machete strikes. The flute was made of special wood that was very hard, it did not break. Ebiere and the other maidens were screaming. They did not know what to do. The fight went on for many minutes. Timipre was getting tired. He knew he could not win against two men with machetes. Then something miraculous happened. The sky became dark. Strong winds started blowing. Lightning flashed. Thunder roared. A voice came from the sky. It was the voice of Mamiwata. "Stop," the voice commanded. Everyone froze. They looked up. In the clouds, they could see the face of Mamiwata. She was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "You dare to kill the chosen one?" Mamiwata asked. "You dare to spill blood for greed and jealousy?" Owekuro and Ebikefe fell on their knees. They were shaking with fear. "Please forgive us, Great One," they begged. "You have failed the test," Mamiwata said. "You have shown that you are not worthy. As punishment, you will lose your sight. You will be blind for the rest of your lives. Only then will you see the truth." Lightning struck Owekuro and Ebikefe. They screamed. When the lightning disappeared, their eyes were white. They were blind. "No, no," they screamed. "Please, we are sorry. Don't do this to us." But it was too late. Mamiwata had spoken. The punishment was final. Mamiwata turned to Timipre. "You have shown courage, wisdom, and kindness. You are worthy. Take the head of Kalabari Beast to me. I will give you what you seek." Then she disappeared. Timipre continued his journey. The blind Owekuro and Ebikefe had no choice but to follow him. The maidens helped them walk. After 2 more days, they reached Brass Island, where Mamiwata's shrine was located. Timipre entered the shrine alone, carrying the head of Kalabari Beast. Inside the shrine, there was a pool of water. The water was clear and deep. Timipre placed the head of the beast on the altar. Then he waited. The water in the pool started to move. Bubbles rose to the surface. Then Mamiwata appeared, rising from the water. She was the most beautiful woman Timipre had ever seen, even more beautiful than Princess Tarila. "You have done well, Timipre," Mamiwata said. Her voice was like music. "You have brought me the head of my greatest enemy. For many years, Kalabari Beast terrorized my kingdom. He killed my people. He destroyed my peace. Now, because of you, he is dead. I did it for my people," Timipre said. "I want Princess Tarila to live. I want Oporoma to continue to exist in peace." "I know," Mamiwata said. She smiled. "You are a rare man, Timipre. You do not seek power or glory. You seek only the good of your people. That is why you are worthy to be king." "But I don't want to be king," Timipre said. "I have a girl I love. Her name is Ebiere. All I want is to marry her and live a simple life." Mamiwata laughed. "You cannot escape your destiny, Timipre. The spirits have chosen you. You will be king of Oporoma." She reached into the water and pulled out a small calabash. Inside the calabash was Princess Tarila's spirit, her Ijaw. "Take this back to Oporoma," Mamiwata said. When you open it near Princess Tarila, her Ijaw will return to her body. She will live. Timipre took the calabash carefully. "Thank you, Great One," he said. "Wait," Mamiwata said, "I have one more gift for you." She reached into the water again and pulled out a small bag. "Inside this bag there is gold and silver, enough to make you the richest man in Bayelsa. Give this to Ebiere. It is my gift to her for loving you with a pure heart." Timipre took the bag. He bowed to Mamiwata and left the shrine. The journey back to Oporoma took 7 days. When they finally arrived, the whole village came out to meet them. Princess Tarila was lying on a mat in the palace. She was barely breathing. She had only a few hours left to live. Timipre rushed to her side. He opened the calabash. A bright light came out of it. The light went into Princess Tarila's body. Immediately, her eyes opened. She took a deep breath. She was alive. The whole village erupted in celebration. People were singing, people were dancing, people were crying with joy. Elder Tombra came to Timipre and hugged him. "You have saved us," the elder said. "You have saved our princess. You have saved our kingdom." "What about them?" someone asked, pointing at Owekuro and Ebekefe, who were standing there blind and ashamed. "They tried to kill me," Timipre said, "but Mamiwata has already punished them. Let them live. Let them learn from their mistakes." The elders nodded. They respected Timipre's mercy. The next day, the whole kingdom gathered under the great Iroko tree. It was time to announce who would be the new king. Elder Tonbra stood up and spoke to the people. "Timipre has completed the mission. He has brought back the head of Kalabari Beast. He has saved Princess Tarila's life. According to our law, he will marry Princess Terilla and become our king." The people cheered loudly. Everyone was happy except for 3 people: Timipre, Princess Tarila, and Ebiere. Timipre stood up. "Elders, I have something to say." The crowd became quiet. "I am honored that you want me to be your king. I am honored that Princess Tarila is willing to be my wife. But I cannot accept." The people gasped. The elders looked confused. "Why not?" Elder Tombra asked. "Because I am in love with someone else," Timipre said. He turned and looked at Ebiere. "I love Ebiere. She has been by my side through everything. She is the one I want to marry." Ebiere started crying. She could not believe what she was hearing. Princess Terilla stood up. Tears were running down her face. "I understand," she said quietly. "Timipre is a good man, but I cannot force him to love me. I cannot force him to marry me." Elder Prey stood up angrily. "But this is against the law. The law says that whoever brings back the head of the beast must marry the princess." "Then change the law." Timipre said, "What kind of law forces 2 people who don't love each other to get married? What kind of kingdom will we have if the king and queen do not love each other?" The people started talking among themselves. Some agreed with Timipre, others said he must follow the law. Elder Tonbra raised his hand in silence. "Let me consult with the spirits." The elder went into the shrine of the great Iroko tree. He stayed there for 1 hour. When he came out, he was smiling. "The spirits have spoken," he announced. "They say that Timipre must be king, but they also say that a king can have more than one wife. Timipre will marry both Princess Tarila and Ebiere. Princess Tarila will be his first queen. Ebiere will be his second queen." Everyone looked at Timipre. What would he say? Timipre looked at Ebiere. She was crying, but she was also smiling. She nodded at him, telling him it was okay. Then Timipre looked at Princess Tarila. She was also crying. She had loved him for so long. Even though he did not love her the same way, she still wanted to be near him. Timipre thought about his people. He thought about all the sacrifices that had been made. He thought about how Princess Tarila almost died. He thought about how Oporoma needed a strong leader. Finally, he made his decision. "I will accept," he said. "I will be your king. I will marry Princess Tarila and Ebiere. I will serve my people with all my heart." The whole kingdom erupted in celebration. Drums were beating. People were singing and dancing. Children were running around with joy. Elder Tonbra placed the royal crown on Timipre's head. "You are now King Timipre of Oporoma. May you rule with wisdom and kindness." 2 weeks later, there was a big wedding ceremony. Timipre married Princess Tarila and Ebiere on the same day. The whole of Bayelsa state came to celebrate. Timipre gave the bag of gold and silver from Mamiwata to Ebiere, just as the water goddess had instructed. Ebiere became very rich. She was no longer just a poor maiden, she was now a queen. During the celebration, Timipre did something that surprised everyone. He called for Owekuro and Ebikefe to come forward. The two blind men were brought before the king. They were afraid. They thought he was going to punish them more. Owekuro, Ebikefe, Timipre said, "You tried to kill me. You were jealous and greedy. But I forgive you." The two men started crying. "I don't deserve your forgiveness," Owekuro said. "None of us deserve anything," Timipre replied. "But we must learn to forgive. I am giving you both positions in my kingdom. Owekuro, you will be in charge of training our warriors. Even though you are blind, you still have your strength and your knowledge of fighting. Ebikefe, you will be my advisor. Even though you are blind, you still have your intelligence." The people were amazed. Timipre was showing mercy to his enemies. Owekuro and Ebikefe knelt before their king. "Thank you, my king," they said. "We will serve you faithfully for the rest of our lives." King Timipre ruled Oporoma for many years. He was a wise and kind king. He never forgot where he came from. He never forgot that he was once just a poor fisherman's son. Princess Terilla grew to love him deeply. Even though he did not love her the way he loved Ebiere, he treated her with respect and kindness. That was enough for her. Ebiere was happy being second queen. She did not care about titles or positions. All she cared about was being with the man she loved. The two queens became best friends. They helped each other. They supported each other. They raised their children together. King Timipre and Queen Tarila had 3 sons. King Timipre and Queen Ebiere had 2 daughters. All the children grew up together like brothers and sisters. Owekuro and Ebikefe served the king faithfully. Their blindness taught them humility. They learned that true strength comes not from muscles or intelligence, but from good character. Mamiwata was pleased with how things turned out. She never bothered Oporoma again. She sent blessings of fish and good harvests to the kingdom. The 4 pillars of Oporoma were happy. Elder Tonbra lived to be 100 years old. Before he died, he said, "I have seen many kings in my lifetime, but King Timipre is the best. He proved that wisdom is greater than strength, and love is greater than power." Many years later, when King Timipre was an old man, he gathered all the children of Oporoma under the great Iroko tree. He wanted to teach them an important lesson. "Children," he said, "let me tell you the story of how I became king." The children sat down and listened carefully. King Timipre told them about Kalabari Beast, about the journey, about Owekuro and Ebikefe's betrayal, about Mamiwata's judgment. When he finished the story, one child asked, "Your Majesty, why didn't you just let Owekuro and Ebikefe die when they were bitten by snakes? They wanted to kill you. You could have gotten rid of your enemies." King Timipre smiled. "That is a good question. I will tell you why. If I had let them die, I would have become like them. I would have let anger and revenge control me. A true leader does not seek revenge. A true leader seeks peace." Another child asked, "But Your Majesty, they tried to kill you even after you saved them. Weren't you angry?" "Yes, I was angry," King Timipre admitted. "I was very angry, but I learned something important. Anger is like poison. If you keep it in your heart, it will kill you. You must let it go." An older child asked, "Your Majesty, do you regret becoming king? You said you didn't want to be king. You just wanted to marry Ebiere and live a simple life." King Timipre thought about this question for a long time. "At first, yes, I regretted it," he said honestly. "I missed my simple life. I missed fishing in the river. I missed playing my flute without any responsibilities. But then I realized something. We don't always get to choose our path in life. Sometimes life chooses for us. When that happens, we must accept it and do our best." "What is the most important lesson you learned?" A small girl asked King Timipre. Looked at all the children. He looked at the great Iroko tree. He looked at his kingdom, peaceful and prosperous. "The most important lesson," he said slowly, "is this. True power does not come from strength or intelligence or wealth. True power comes from love. Love for your people, love for your family, love for your enemies. If you have love in your heart, you can overcome anything." The children clapped. They understood. That night, King Timipre sat with his two queens on the palace balcony. They looked at the stars together. "Are you happy?" Queen Tarila asked him. King Timipre smiled. "Yes, I am happy. I have two wonderful wives. I have beautiful children. I have a peaceful kingdom. What more could a man want?" "But you gave up your dreams," Queen Ijaw said. "You wanted a simple life." "Dreams change," King Timipre said. "When I was young, I dreamed of playing my flute by the river. Now I dream of leaving behind a kingdom where everyone lives in peace. Both dreams are good. I am grateful for both." Queen Terilla leaned her head on his shoulder. Queen Ijaw held his hand. They sat there in silence, watching the stars, listening to the sound of the ocean waves, feeling the cool breeze from the creeks. At that moment, King Timipre realized that this was true happiness. Not the happiness he had planned for himself, but the happiness that life had given him. And he was grateful. The end moral of the story: wisdom is greater than strength. Love is greater than power. Mercy is greater than revenge. Sometimes the best path is not the one we choose, but the one that chooses us. True leadership comes from serving others, not from seeking glory. Jealousy and greed destroy, but kindness and forgiveness build up. A good person does what is right even when it is difficult. The kingdom of Oporoma prospered for many generations. And even today in Bayelsa state, old people still tell the story of King Timipre, the flute player who became king, the poor fisherman's son who saved his people, the man who chose love over power. His story is told to children to teach them that greatness does not come from where you are born or how strong you are. Greatness comes from the choices you make and the love you have in your heart. And that is the end of the story. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Make sure you drop your comment and share your thoughts with us. Thanks.